Hey, how you doing? Welcome to a foggy London. It's very Victorian today. You can just see Big Ben just about in the background there. So yeah, out in the streets of London to take some photographs. But instead of it just being a normal type of street photography where I'm just going to be walking around snapping away, I want to try something a little bit different. So bear with me. This is a bit of a touch and go. I'm not sure how it's going to sort of turn out. The weather conditions aren't exactly perfect for obviously the cloud cover and the fog, but then again, they might be exactly what I need for the type of photography that I'm looking to do today. So grab yourself a coffee, take a seat, and enjoy. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video here at Benham Media. It's an absolute pleasure to see you all here today. Thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail. So yeah, I'm out and about. As you can see, it's again a nice foggy day. I've sort of mentioned that already. But what I want to do today is that I've experimented with long exposure photography in the past, and it's obviously a lot more easier at night where you've got the light trails and the buses going past and all that sort of stuff. But what I want to try to do today is I want to experiment and try to add movement within my photographs. A lot of my street photography is capturing the moment. Quick shutter speed, getting people sort of frozen in time. But what I'm going to try to do now is that I want to try to get a sort of like the illusion of movement. So what I plan to do is having a 1 or 2 second shutter speed when I take my photographs. So when I focus on, say, Big Ben, which is the plan for this particular shot, that the people around it will be sort of like slightly ghost-like and slightly blurred. So you get like the sense of the picture coming alive, the picture being a sort of like a movement of stillness. I don't know quite. There's probably a word for it within photography that I don't know. So if you do know it, hit me in the comments, let me know. And yeah, just sort of like sit back and enjoy the ride really. So I'm currently on Westminster Bridge, and the plan is to try to get the tripod set up, focus on the clock tower itself, Big Ben, which obviously is the name of the bell, not the tower itself. And then yeah, try to get the movement of the people walking over the bridge to be that sort of like ghost-like type of feeling. So let's get set up, try not to get in people's way, and let's see if we can pull this one off. Right, so I've just gone onto the little B cam just so I can get all sort of set up just here in the background. So this is the shot on this side of Westminster Bridge. I'm on the south side of the river. I'm currently on my settings at 2 seconds. My aperture's on 32, so I've got it nice and wide to get a lot of it in focus. But I've also got my ND filter on the front as well. So that way I can have a longer exposure in the daylight. It's sort of like, you know, it's like sunglasses pretty much for your camera. So it's pretty decent exposure, really. It's not too bad. I've got my ISO at 100 because I don't want to sort of like bring it up too far. And yeah, I'm pretty much getting like this type of view. I might actually sort of record the screen here a little bit and put it up around here somewhere so you can sort of see the main idea, but obviously you will see the final shot if it comes out how I want it to. So yeah, so I'm going to hang out here for a little bit, get a few more people coming across the bridge, and then we will see exactly what type of shot we get. So yeah, let's get it done. Oh my god, I'm actually really excited about that shot. It came out a lot better than I thought it was going to, actually. I was there for about 20 minutes and took a fair few. I did in fact actually slow my shutter speed down to 3.5 seconds in the end, because 2 seconds was good, but there was still a little bit of stillness in some of the people walking about. So I slowed it down to 3.5 seconds, which seemed to really sort of capture the sort of movement of the people going across the bridge. Don't know how many I'm going to post on this video, because there's at least 2 or 3 that I really like. So I might just pick my favourite and put it in the video, or at least there's a nice one as well when a bike went past with a like a yellow jacket. But yeah, so I'm now walking down the river to my next location, which has got planned in my head. But if I find somewhere else along the way that I like the look of, I will in fact sort of stop and take another one. So yeah, I will see you at the next spot. Check out this fog. Like, you can barely see the buildings on the other side of the river. That's insane, isn't it? But anyway, so this is the next location that I want to shoot on. It's the Millennium Bridge, and my old favourite, if you can just about see it in the background, St Paul's Cathedral. I'm choosing Millennium Bridge because it's a very busy bridge. It's a footbridge, usually a lot of people. So we're going to head up there now. Doesn't look that busy at the moment, but hopefully it'll be a bit busier when I get on top. So let's get up there and set ourselves up, shall we? This fog's insane, look at that. That's crazy, isn't it? Woo. So this is pretty much going to be the shot. So straight up Millennium Bridge with St Paul's just behind us. Obviously you can't quite see it because of the fog, but once I've sort of put the ND filter on, open up the aperture, hopefully the fog should sort of like fade away. I'm going to stick to the same type of settings. So my shutter speed is going to be about 3.5 seconds. My aperture is going to be wide, very, very wide, very, very wide, like 32 again. Now the reason why I'm keeping my aperture that wide is not only does that mean I can get a lot off the frame in focus, so a lot of the foreground, the sort of, and the sort of like the background, all in focus, but it also opens up the lens really, really wide, so it lets all that light in. And that's the reason again for the ND filter on the front, because again it acts as sunglasses to sort of reduce the light sensitivity into the sensor itself. So it also means I can slow down the shutter speed to 3.5 seconds and try to get that movement in the shot as well. So that's the thought process behind this shot. So let's get ourselves set up and turn the camera sideways, and let's give this a bit of a crack. So again, spent a few minutes there, probably about 30 minutes overall, and yeah, some of them I'm really, again, very, very happy with the whole sort of process of it. Now I do like that location because it's one of my favourite locations in London, not only because it's a good shot of St Paul's Cathedral, but you've got that railing on the floor which sort of like gives you that sort of like leading line going sort of up and over the bridge. A couple of them come out really sort of like naff, mainly because obviously the people are moving and you sort of like, you get that sort of blurred effect. And because the bridge sort of funnels everybody into the centre, you get like a little black smudge across the sort of like the centre of the photo itself. So that they didn't come out very, very well. But a lot of them came out lovely. But there was one, now when I took it, or when I was about to take it, because one thing I forgot to mention as well is that I'm putting a 2-second shutter, 2-second timer on the camera. That way I'm not touching the camera, so there's no camera shake when it sort of like takes the photograph. So I sort of hit the shutter, it goes for 2 seconds, and then everything sort of opens up. And as I'd done that, this gentleman sort of walked dead center of the frame. And I was like, oh, mate, seriously? But because he had a bit of a wobble on, because he was sort of like a proper little Cockney walk type thing, he had a bit of a sort of sway to him, which I'm going to put the photograph up now. And if the edits come out quite nicely, I think it's actually quite a lovely little shot. Like on the back of the camera, it looks really, really cool. So hopefully I can edit it in a nice way as well. But there's one more location that I want to go to, which is just down here. You can probably guess if you know London well enough where I am. So we're going to go a little bit further east to another famous bridge, and it's got a busy location. I might as well tell you, it's Tower Bridge. You know, there's no surprises here. But yeah, I'm not really finding anywhere sort of like that's tickling my fancy in between at the moment. So I'm going to keep the camera up and ready just in case I do find somewhere a bit more fun. And then yeah, we'll probably end it there. But I hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up because it really does help the channel and it makes more people sort of like discover us, and you know, we can share the love. So yeah, subscribe, thumbs up, all that yada yada jargon, and yeah, let's take a little walk further east to Tower Bridge. So I'm at Tower Bridge, you can just about see it behind me there. And I've walked around the area a little bit to see if I can actually find a shot that I'm satisfied with. And I can't find any angle, sort of like the shot we're here, I'm standing where the camera is. This lamppost is just like dead center in the way. There doesn't seem to be a lot of foot traffic coming and going either. Like there are a fair few people, but a lot of them are sort of like standing still a little bit to let's bring that down over, there you go. Standing still a little bit to sort of take photographs. So there's not a lot of sort of like movement in this little area at the moment either. So I might have to give this shot a miss for now. I'm not going to take a photograph for the sake of taking a photograph, especially when I'm out here for a particular project, and maybe have a bit more of a think about where I'm going to take this particular shot, as well as think of other locations to take this type of shot, like St Paul's, maybe Parliament Square, potentially Downing Street if I can get away with it. But yeah, all in all, I'm happy with the shots that I've got, and yeah, I'm definitely quite pleased with the ones that I've got and how they've turned out. So can't call it a disaster, a semi-success probably. So on that note, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, give it a thumbs up, and if you liked this type of content, hit the subscribe button. If you've got any questions, quotes, or comments, hit them below. And when I edit these photographs, obviously when I get back home, I'm going to be using some of my own presets. And if you are interested in them, if you look at the sort of links in the description below, go to my website and you will see that those presets, or some of them, are available for free on my website. So for the time being, they're free. I might put a price on them at some point if I get, you know, the opportunity to do so, but at the moment they're free. So if you want some free presets, in the description, plus also my merch is down there as well. Check out the Etsy store. But guys, that is it, done and dusted for today. I will see you later on. I will see you next week. I'll see you next time. But until then, bye.